So I need to get rid of this storage unit. About 6 months ago, I decided that it would be a great time to go ahead and buy an entire dressmaker's estate sale, because now is the time to up my business. So I did. Now, while this absolutely was the correct move at the time, the storage unit pricing has gone up drastically since I decided to do this. And since I decided that now is the time to get rid of the storage unit, I figured we'd do a quick little recap on how I've done so far.
And so, because Stephanie's been sick for a little while, I'm gonna take over. This might not go well.
Editing Stephanie just popping in here to say that this video actually was recorded back at the beginning of April when I was definitely feeling unwell. It's now May, I'm better, but this video still feels appropriate, although a little bit late. So enjoy.
First of all, the patterns. To say that Stephanie underestimated how many patterns in this is like saying Godzilla's a little bitty lizard. She specifically went back and figured out how many were just unchecked from this lot alone. And there's a couple of things you need to know about that. First of all, while we have Tina, her amazing assistant, to kind of help us check things out, Steph has to basically go through these from scratch. So that means we got to pull them out, we got to count all the pieces just to make sure all the pieces are there. We've got to iron them and press them back into place. We got to check to make sure they're not damaged or ripped or torn or anything like that. Then we got to put them back in the envelope. Then we got to scan the envelope. Then we got to throw all of the info onto the website. That takes like 30 to 45 minutes sometimes per pattern. So since Steph has been doing this for over 10 years, you could say if she fully checks all of these, she could do like maybe a max of 15 per day. So would you like to know how many she has left? It's a lot. I can't use all my fingers and toes for this one. 1,694. That's not small. That means if she started on May 1st and did literally nothing else but list 15 patterns per day from these, she would be done. Let me check my notes here. August 22nd. Hope you're not doing anything this summer, babe. Next up, the trim. While Steph was able to get the courage to do just one video dedicated just to trim, she's barely touched the bins since. Which means there's 2.5 full size, like Costco size, like the big, huge, giant ones. Nothing but trim. Maybe some other stuff thrown in there, like some gloves or some things like that, because I've seen her dig some out here and there. But that's a lot. And all of that work would take maybe one day just to film the video, and then like another week just to get all the listings and stuff ready. And that would take us to August 30th.
Editing Stephanie here just to say that I have indeed already done the second video for this trim, and have already been surprised by what I found. If you would like to check out that full video, it is already live on my channel.
That doesn't even get into the notions. Notions, I don't know what that category means, but apparently that's zippers and buttons and all of the other stuff. She's also laughing at me right now. So all the zippers had been dumped into a huge giant box by themselves. That means she's got to pre-sort them by color, by length. She also has to sort them into their categories: metal, polyester, nylon, invisible. Oh, that's a lot. So while she was able to get through the metal zippers, all of the polyester, the invisibles are still hanging out, languishing in their original bins. Still there from like 6 months ago. So Steph's plans is to pick 2 days when she and Tina can do nothing but list all of the rest of the zippers. That takes us to September 1st. Now we're getting close to my birthday. That's not cool. Now on to the buttons. Steph basically went through so many buttons through all of her listings for most of these. Even the mystery boxes were just cleaning out most of the button stash. Steph basically had to go onto eBay, buy a giant lot from a salesperson, and then take most of those and list those along with the mystery boxes as well, because they were selling like pancakes at a band sale.
What?
You've never...
What?
Pancakes at a pancake sale for the band? Really? You guys never did pancake sales?
I've never heard of that.
You've never done a pancake breakfast sale for raising charity money?
No!
You have lived such a sheltered life from Ohio, you have no idea. Needless to say, basically the only thing she has left from the salesperson is a couple of button books. Ooh. Ah. She's debating putting it up for auction on eBay, Comment down below. I never get to do this. It's kind of fun. If you're interested in that. Onto the displays and the furniture. Because yes, she also did get 3 pattern cabinets, 2 thread displays, multiple bust forms, and some leg displays. We're not using most of that. Now, pattern cabinets definitely getting used. The rest, kind of hanging out in the garage. And guess what? She hasn't even tried to sell those yet. In part due to the fact that in her dreams, her next adventure is to open her own antique shop. She would actually need them, and the fact that 2 of the cabinets are supremely rusty, and the third's just kind of full. Like, really full? There's a perpetual DIY bone in her body that screams, "Hey, let's fix this!" Even though you don't have time, because it's going to take you 6 months to list all these patterns. She'll do it. Maybe. But she doesn't know how. So if anybody has any ideas on how to fix some rusty sewing cabinets, let us know! Let's not talk about the random extras either that were also tossed into this thing. Now, let's get on to the juicy stuff. The stuff you guys like anyway. The fabric. Honestly, she's not doing too bad. It's only taking up 2.5 rooms of my house. She's doing good.
Hey now.
Just saying.
Rude.
She's about halfway through, maybe a little bit more than what we started with originally. Got most of it back on the truck. We're slowly bringing it back into the garage in the house. Actually, almost done with like the storage unit itself. I'm really impressed. Seriously, I am actually impressed with that. It's a lot. So in our original timeline, if we stick to that, just listing 10 bolts of fabric per day, that would take us to October 8th before all the fabric would be done. So if you've been following along this little journey, you may recall that's almost exactly 1 year to date from when we all hustled up to South Carolina and back again to pick up this epic estate sale. Lastly, and what I'm sure what most of you are wondering about, the money. Steph spent $5,421.35 for the entire thing. The storage unit started at $217.65 per month. The first month was half off, the rest have been full price. And as of the month of April, it has risen 30%, and now she pays $307.95. Wait, Which means she has spent an additional $1,348.75 spent on just the storage unit alone. That doesn't include the cost of the storage tubs and the shelves that she's had to buy along the way, which brings the total spent on this estate sale to $6,770.16. That's more than my first 3 cars combined. And while I will not be able to give exact numbers because Steph is the one that actually gives the exact numbers, and I don't know all of the exact numbers because I don't want to know the exact numbers, y'all are amazing and you buy other items as well with her estate listings. And so her estimate of how much she has made to date, conservatively speaking, $30,000. Woo! All those numbers aren't so big anymore. So if she had to actually go back and do it all over again, I would make her go back and do it all over again. Good job, babe. Proud of you. We would actually like to thank you very much for tuning in and watching us along this journey. It's been a lot, but sincerely, thank you guys. We really appreciate all of you tuning in, all of you buying a lot of this fabric along the way, all of you enjoying her as she puts together all of her chaotic patterns and how she sews them and puts them together, and I don't understand any part of it, but you guys do, and we appreciate that. So y'all, hopefully I'll not have to do this again anytime soon, and Steph will be better. That's what we would like. If you would like to see the video from the first estate sale from the beginning of this journey, click on that one. And YouTube will probably think that you will like that one as well. Oh, I gotta say goodbye now. Until next time, I hope you are not sewing as chaotically as Stephanie does. Bye! Please tell me you did not record that.
Oh no, I definitely did.